So I've just finished watching the Severance season 1 show. I must say this show made me feel very uneasy. Very, 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 very uneasy. And I want to do a quick thing. I want to do the best show I've watched so far. I want to rank the best shows I've watched so far. Number 1 on that list is Dark Matter. Number 2 on that list is Paradise. Now this has now slightly made number 3.
Nice.
It took too long to kick in for me compared to how Paradise and then how Dark Matter worked. I know I shouldn't compare these shows, but just a show setting up a premise and trying to get the viewer involved, right? Whether they've seen the trailer or not, whether they've heard their friends suggest it or not, whether they've read the synopsis or not, they're just thinking to themselves, let me see what this show is about. Episode 1 should have just, had a nice kick somewhere to keep you hooked long enough for episode 2 and then 3. But it dragged. It dragged, and I thought, I don't even know what people saw in this show that they hyping up so much compared to Paradise. Paradise and Dark Matter had me hooked instantly. Yeah. Although Paradise episode 2 had me confused as to why you would leave episode 1 with such a beautiful cliffhanger, and then you're expecting the episode 2 to explain the cliffhanger of episode 1. But I remember there's a part, I think it was Sinatra's character, where they did a flashback for Sinatra's character, and I wasn't interested. I was like, I don't care who all these other people are. All I care about is the security guard, Xavier Collins, and then the president. He ain't lying. So anyway, I know this isn't a review about Dark Matter or Paradise, but I still have to do the comparison because those are the 2 shows that I've watched so far out of many other shows that I mentioned that I really, really, really enjoyed.
Hello, my name is Mark S.
Even the first time when I watched Paradise, episode 2 put me off. So I think it was like a week after, and I thought, you know what? This show seems good. So let me give it a shot again, and I watched from beginning again to end episode 1, even though I already knew the whole premise of episode 1. I thought, let me give episode 2 a chance, sit down, put my focus into it, and then see where the story is going. And I'm so glad I watched it. So nice. For Severance, boy, there's a few things I liked and a few things that I didn't like. And just off the bat, let me just say, any company that comes to tell me they're going to give you perks, or doesn't matter how much payments they mention, anything to do with drilling something into your personage that you cannot retrieve or recover yourself without an external procedure, I'm not going to tangle with it all.
Get this man a shield.
You can give me all the perks in the world. You can tell me it's going to cure cancer and cure this and cure that, and anyone I walk around who has any illness will get cured. I don't care. As long as it's something I do not have any full autonomy over, we gravy out here.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Because you're told something, or you're read something on paper, right? But you yourself, who haven't manufactured the chip, don't know what it is. And even if you were part of the manufacturing company, you don't know the idea behind it, the components, or the functionality of the pill. You don't know what side effects it causes, or you don't know what's behind the control of the pill or the function of the pill. So I keep saying pill.
Well, duh.
You're told that it only works between these hours and that's it. And you're told whatever you do between these hours, you forget. You don't know if you're a hired assassin between those hours. You walk into a room and they use you to interrogate people. You don't even know if you're interrogating children. You don't know if they're using your personage to do nefarious things, right? You don't know. All you're given is information face to face, and you're told this is a new procedure. It's something that's going to better society and yada, yada, yada. I don't give a crap.
Damn.
Anything I do not have any full understanding, knowledge of, and autonomy over, and you're going to embed it into my personage where I cannot personally retrieve it myself. I'm not messing with that in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I get the premise behind Mark S.'s choice to work with the company. I get that. Therapy isn't working. Counseling isn't working. Drinking isn't working fully. After his wife's death, he's struggling to cope. He's struggling to carry on. So it makes sense that this new procedure makes you forget between the hours and so, and you get payment. I imagine maybe her funeral will cost money, and they'll cover that. So there's a few ways they'll give you the perks that outweigh any worrying thoughts you might have. I'm aware they will give you the speech, right? So any worries you have, they'll quench those worries and lure you in, or softly welcome you in, and then they'll give you perks. Well, look at the pros. The pros outweigh the cons, and you say you're struggling with letting go of your wife's, struggling with your wife's passing. This could be a good chance. Between now and so time, you easily not forget about her, but you heal from the pain, you will heal from the loss. So, dude, I get Mark's issue, or Mark's situation. Now, Irving, I don't understand his one yet, even though I just finished watching season 1 right now, hence turn on this camera. I guess I need to watch season 2 and see if they flesh out each character's stories more. And they keep making it sound like the person's personality is split into half. I just thought the idea is whatever you do between these hours, you don't remember. Yeah. They always make it look like it's two halves, unless that's what, or maybe that's what the chip does. Maybe it splits the mind into two rather than saying, oh, we just block your memory of what occurs between 9 and 5. Or maybe I haven't even listened to the dialogue in the show or the explanation of the chip properly. But it's a good show. Mm-hmm. It's a good show. It just took too long to kick in. There are certain things that went on, I thought, nah. And certain characters I despise immediately. Like the Harmony, something Corbell Harmony, their boss, don't like her. That lady is she's a heifer, man.
Damn, son.
I do not like her at all. I like Mark S's character very much. Helly R. It's funny, her name is weird. Helly. If you move the Y, hell. I'm like, why would someone? Unless that's some form of allegory of something. And I know I watched a few breakdowns where they were saying if you notice how cameras place in certain angles where it's hello and hell. So all those things that I noticed as well. Colors, what's his name? Mark's house. It is dull as shit. Dull as shit. Coal on the outside with the colors, and then coal on the inside as well. That very cold gray, not navy blue, like really mute, dull colors. Dude, I don't know how that guy's managing in there, man. He's struggling. Then his friend as well, PD. Too damn bad! Obviously, they revealed it is an on and off switch to the thing, and you can get activated outside of work, right? Or outside of the 9 to 5 window. The second thing is I want to know if it suppresses, suppresses emotion, or if it can trigger certain emotions, if it can be aimed specifically at anger or fear or sadness. Like if it suppresses everything, can it improve or deplete or balance out emotions as well? It just looks like you forget what you're doing between 9 and 5. Whereas sometimes the way they operate, they even create this term innie and outie. I don't even know why that thing is allowed. I don't know why people don't keep reiterating that. It's not about an innie and outie. You just forget what you do between this time and this time. You're still you. The only thing is you forget between these hours, and that's it. But the show makes it look like it's a split personality. Definitely made me feel uneasy for the first 3 episodes. I was like, this feels uncomfortable. The way Mark's boss talks to him, that soft tone, and then the fact that she's even spying on him, and I thought she had the chip in her head, but I'm assuming she doesn't, right? She just works for the company, and the only difference is anyone who goes into that or into the, I don't even know what the agreement is. So the bosses don't have the chips, the black guy doesn't have the chips, or do they have the chips and they allowed free roam? I don't know. Maybe I didn't watch the show properly because, like I said, the first 3 episodes didn't really hold my attention per se. Mm-hmm. It's a good show, don't get me wrong, but it just took too long, and it's that whole dragging the pace of the show that just made me feel detached from the whole thing.
Hello, my name is Mark S. And I have, of my own free accord, elected to undergo the procedure known as severance. I
mean, I was intrigued a little bit. Definitely intrigued about the chip, how it works. And I just finished the last episode 9, and where Mark is talking to his sister and then explaining to him that he's not the outer him, is now the innie him. That should have melted her mind. But at least I like the whole intelligence thing. She didn't freak out. She didn't jump. She didn't go and, there was no argument, or you're lying, you're faking it. I like the intelligence of that scene.
He ain't lying.
Some shows tend to just drag those kind of conversations out for too long. The other thing that got me is the fact that the outer mark, see, now I'm using the stupid term, but I guess I'll stick with it. The outside mark thinks his wife is dead.
Damn!
So I don't know how that works. Did he see the dead body? Did they cremate the body? Did they bury the body? What was, how did they confirm she's dead? Or did she, because everyone knows it was a car accident and we don't even know how. Maybe I should have waited a while before I recorded this video. I should have maybe given like a 30-minute window on hour. I literally just finished watching the last episode of season 1.
He ain't lying.
Now I know that his wife is alive and she works in the freaking building. But dude, that's the one that got me the most. PD dying, that was very sad. And then realizing the wife is alive all this time and she works in the same building as him, but the interaction is not even.
God damn!
I imagine there are other people out there who argue that if this was a real thing, they would take the chip.
He ain't lying.
What's the incentive? How much are they paid? How much are they each paid before taking the chip?
Shut up and take my money.
The drilling scene? Oh my gosh. My whole body was finished, man. I couldn't take that scene. Because now someone is drilled into your, a part of you that is kept sealed for a reason. Someone on the outside has broken that seal to an extent and put something inside that is unnatural. What? I imagine the health, the side effects would have been minor. Maybe a minor headache for 1 day or 2. Here's some pills to take. After that, you'd be right as rain. And, you're carrying your life per se, but between the hours where you struggle to deal with yourself, especially if you're thinking, someone had suicidal thoughts, for example, 9 to 5, you forget the pain you're going through. So like I said, if your therapy isn't working, your counseling isn't working, you're taking pills, you're doing exercise and all these things to do to distract or to cope and deal with someone's passing or trauma or depression, sadness, all those things, if they aren't working and Lumon approaches you with this procedure, I can see why people would take it. I personally will not take it. And I pray never be in a situation where something like this is presented to me after going through something really dark. It's such a, you lose, something. You lose an aspect of yourself. And we live in a world where many of us don't even get to understand or know ourselves or fully love and embrace our true selves until a particular age, or some of us don't even get that opportunity till death. They never even ponder. I wonder what, am I who I really say I am? Am I what I am? Am I, is all this my own doing? Yes, I've got aspects of my mother, aspects of my father, my lineage, grandparents, ancestry. I've been influenced by my friends, movies that I've watched, music, all these things. But what is that unique spark of me? That thing that I feel is me. Is it really me, or is it something I've gotten used to and then come to accept that is me? Only for someone to come and drill inside your skull. So just the mere fact that many people struggle with understanding who they are and what they are and why they are and how they are. And then you live in a society that sometimes makes someone feel, oh, you're strange, by the way. You're not regular like all of us. You're not normal. You're too tall, you're too short, you don't sing well, or you sing, but you don't sing like everyone else sings, so you won't make it in singing, or you don't paint like they do, so you won't make it in art, or you don't dance like they do, so you won't be a very good dancer. You don't project your voice like they do, so I don't think you should do acting. Everyone is constantly telling you what you should and shouldn't do, directly and indirectly.
What do you mean by that?
To then have this implant, and then you don't know what's being done. Yeah, you're being told it's between these hours, you're doing something and it's for the greater good or whatever, or you work in a charity office, or you work in a hospital helping children. Of course, you could be spun any story and you would accept it.
That boy is good.
I don't know if they spoke about the original encounter. Are you approached by the company? Do they go house to house like Avon calling? Or do you go to the company, or do they put the ad in TV? Obviously, the last episode kind of touches on that. It's something that it looks like they're planning to integrate it into society on a larger scale. Even that too, Why is it that some companies tend to do that, or some people tend to have this whole, I have an idea and I want to share it with the world? How about creating a what if scenario where the world doesn't want your idea, but there's a number of people who don't mind the idea? Just stick to your people and be satisfied.
He ain't lying.
Or am I missing the point here? Or maybe I'm coming from an angle where I'm being paranoid, or I'm not being intelligent enough to see it as a greater good for mankind. If the company said that we're gonna speak to certain people and pitch them the idea and see if they like it and it works for them, and then your charts come up, any health defects? No. Any migraines? No. Any tumors? No. So whatever material you use to insert the thing as well, what kind of metal is that? Aluminum? Is that stainless steel? What else? Does it secrete anything?
Don't ask questions.
A phone call. How about if they put the phone to their ears? So what's the science behind that? Headphones, earphones, wireless earphones, wired earphones. Is there anything that can affect the chip externally? No. Okay, cool. So you got to tick all these boxes. And then what if you meet people who are opposed to my idea? Am I okay with that? Yes. Cool. So if you feel I would like to share this with people, and even if 100 people love it, I'm satisfied. 200 people jump on it, now it's 300 people, it's even better. But to then say, I want the world to have this, as if you're gifting them something that they themselves have been pondering on, or thirsting for, or hungry for, or hoping or praying for. There's so many things in the world that shouldn't be the way they are, and there's so many things in the world that should be in place by now. Someone getting a chip drilled into their head, nah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's something I would not want in any way, shape, or form at all. I don't care who's made it. I don't care how kosher the person is. I don't care if they've never sinned or killed or hurt anyone. They're Mr. and Mrs. Goody Two Shoes. I don't care. I did not make the chip. I'm not in charge of production, manufacturing, and the functioning or the programming of the chip. I don't know what this chip will and won't do, and can and cannot do. I don't know how much control I have over it. And even if I'm told I have control over it and I'm put in the control room and whatnot, I don't know if this is a secondary control room, or like the thing you do with your sibling, your younger sibling or cousins when they come over, and you know that child that always wants to be in the presence of you when you're playing games but can't play the game you're playing. You give him a dummy controller.
What? Yeah.
And you convince him that they're doing something, you know? So I don't want to be that person where I'm losing it and they're like, okay, well, we can give you full control over the thing. Then they put me in a room and say, these are the buttons and whatnot. And they put me in a dummy room, give me the illusion of control. And in that dummy room, there's certain buttons that I can push that will trigger certain things within me, giving me that illusion of control, but they know what they're doing. Anytime someone builds something outside of me and says, let me, give it, say, even the freaking mobile phones we use.
He ain't lying. That's right.
Oh, this is tracking you. It's listening to you. It's recording your voice. When you say certain words, you now realize the adverts show up on Instagram, on YouTube, or TikTok.
I like this one.
You can do that with the phone, and then it occurs with people, or maybe it's a placebo thing where when you tell someone that's what's happening, they tend to see it in their reality. Yeah, sure. I mean, sometimes it works. You start mentioning a particular brand of cars, that person's mind starts to see those particular brand of cars. Of course. I think it's called suggestive, is this suggestive programming? I think it's called suggestive programming. It's just another subtle nudge, and then the mind starts to focus on these things. Especially if you mention certain numbers, then the mind starts to look for those numbers within the reality. Not everyone. Some people tend to witness these numbers without thinking of numbers, and it just occurs. So that's what you call synchronicity, angel numbers, and whatnot. So if there's already this discussion about being spied on with your phones, what makes people think the next level of this human control thing isn't going to be that chip?
Don't ask questions.
Even the dialogue between the father and her, where he was like, oh, she showed her the chip for the first time, and she was like, hey, everyone should have this, daddy. And then that inspired him to go and create more, and yeah, everyone in the world should have this. What?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Some people are sick, highly unbalanced. Highly unbalanced.
Aha.
Well, duh.
And there's a theme I want to discuss at a later date in regards to this show and Paradise. This idea of people who have money, as if it's the money that causes people to create certain things rather than the ideology or the mindset they already have. I think the money is a secondary thing. Money is just the passport you use to approach people who don't have enough of it, who you could just say, this is your incentive for you to build the thing that I want. You don't have enough people on the same wavelength as you, but you happen to have money, enough of it. So you just say, okay, well, I'll pay this amount of money to create this concept I have in my head. The fact that something so small has such a very powerful impact on the person the chip is inside.
That boy is good.
To have this chip, it's like it oversimplifies this beauty of a creation. That again, like I said earlier on, not many of us have the time to understand, learn about, and appreciate just everything. The foods I like, first of all, and foods I dislike and why I dislike them, before you then go to a herbalist or a doctor and do your blood work and say, oh, so these are the things I'm allergic to. The way certain things make you feel, your emotions, your instincts, you know? The way a person makes you feel. You don't even know someone, but you just feel a little off around him or her or them or location.
Get this man shit.
The layers of being. This is me talking about the body and then the mind, let alone the spirit. Your emotion, the soul, whatever terms you want to use, everything that comes into one to make this whole living experience a beautiful experience. Some of us start to figure this out at 40, 45, 50, 60. So that chip is scary. It's like it just oversimplifies what it is to be. Can it affect your childhood memories? Can it affect how you remember things? There's no way I'm taking no chip. You must be crazy. What? Take chip where?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
It's embedded in your skull, drilled inside your head.
Damn, son.
As in they go drill them. Nah. I think it takes a brave person or a really hurt person to go through that procedure.
Damn!
Because you're at the mercy of whoever's at the end of that drill and the chip. And yes, you could demand, I need to see who's in control and how this thing works, and they could take you into a dummy room. You have no full proof that room you've gone into is the only room that they use to control and study the chip in your head. You have no proof unless you spy on them. Then that's going to take time and patience and all that stuff. Then you're going to need people you trust as well. As soon as I go under for this procedure to take place, I don't even know what they've done with my body. I don't know if they can activate me, make me say things that I didn't say willingly, and then convince me between my 9 and 5 hours that I said those things. So like the lady who wanted to leave right at the start and they showed her recording like, oh, you can't leave, I chose. I'm like, what? Obviously at the end we see why that was done, but just me watching it all the way to before I got to episode 9, I was thinking, for all I care, you're made to record certain things to convince yourself that you want to be in here. Dude, I don't know how someone can bravely do that. I don't say it's a brave thing. I think, maybe, you know what? It's brave for some. Some would say it's stupid. Some would say it's irresponsible. For me, it's a no. Whatever, nah, never. Yeah. Never, ever. I don't care how you pitch it. It's going to be this, going to be that. It's for charity. No! Charity who? We gravy out here, son. We are gravy out here. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the Severance season 1 so far. I don't know if I'm going to sit down and do scene breakdowns. I'm not sure if I want to. I just know there's certain characters I like and certain characters I despise. That chick, Harmony Corbell, she's the worst. I don't care what backstory they're going to give Harmony, what happened to her and how she became this way. I don't care.
Damn.
I think there's always stages in life where if a person falters off their path of goodness, right, or off their path of righteousness, you can always get back on that path. But if you willingly, knowingly, and intentionally cause people psychological trauma, and you convince yourself it's for the greater good, nah. You can spin it how you want to with English language. The intention is key.
What do you mean by that?
Once you create a thing that is not to be created, once you mold a thing that is not to be molded, once you craft a thing that is not to be crafted, once you sculpt a thing that is not to be sculpted, and you know this thing is going to cause certain harm, sadness, disharmony, disorder, pain, but on the long run, they'll get used to it. I don't care how you pitch it. The intention of the creation of this thing is already off balance. It's already bad. It's already not good. It's already inhumane. It's already improper. But you say, just give it 5 years. Just give it 10 years. They'll get along. They'll get used to it. Nah.
Get this man shit.
I can see why people are hyped about the show. It's cool. It's like I said earlier, it's cool. It's no Paradise. It's no Dark Matter, because those shows are fire.
You don't understand.
This is my first time watching the show. So those of you who've seen season 2, you're probably like, oh, he's just talking. Wait till he sees season 2, then he's gonna love it the more, or dislike it. But so far, it's a satisfying watch. Just took too long to kick in. I hope next time shows don't do this. Any show is as good as this, or that has a similar premise or a better premise, whatever it is, any mystery show, I think you're allowed two episodes of mystery. Answer questions quick, bit by bit. Just in episode 1, shock horror, cliffhanger. Okay, we gotta see if the answer in episode 2. You start to answer, don't drag. You start to drag, it's boring. Like Cobell Harmony, the way she talks is so draining, it's tiring. Sometimes I was skipping episodes. I'm like, yo, skip. Not episodes, I was skipping scenes. Like, yo, too long. Skip.
Damn.
But I want to get to the meat of the story. Why have you taken this chip? Who put this chip? Who made this chip? Did it cost money? Is it cheap? Were you paid a lot? Why? Are the people bad? Are they good? I want to get to the meat of something. You're showing me things that are like, I'm falling asleep here. You know, it's not how you do a show. Anyway, let me know in the comments which one of you has seen the Severance season 1 and 2. Do you like the show as well? I don't even know if I want to start watching season 2. I'm definitely going to watch End and Explain first. Yeah. I don't want to be like the people who have seen season 2 and are now waiting for season 3. They might announce season 3 next year and release it at the end of next year. Is that waiting? They're not knowing. I assume they've greenlit season 3 and then not knowing how long the showrunner plans to do the show for. Like if you tell me this is going to be a 5-season show, I'm set. Then I know, okay, cool. I can sit back and let season 4 drop and chill. Season 5 drop, okay, cool. They've ended it. Then go and binge the whole thing and enjoy it. But if the showrunner isn't sure, like when they do the interviews, how long do you think the show is going to go on for? I don't know. We'll think it'll take it to season 12. You are mad. Season 12?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Nah. I've been scarred by many shows that just went on too long. Some stories are sweet. They work better when they're nice and short. A 9-episode season is beautiful, especially with 42 minutes or 45 minutes. Start, kick off nicely, maintain. Don't do stupid decisions with human beings. It's too much. Those things irritate me. This is the premise of the show. Keep it sharp and intelligent. Smart, sharp, intelligent. Have questions, mystery, answer, attack, pull back a bit, shock, horror, twist, but keep going. As long as you have a solution. If your show is about the allegory of corporate America or corporate the corporate workspace or greed or whatever you want to call it, this company and that company, what is your solution? So if your show indirectly creates some form of a solution or some solutions that, okay, we can overcome this, then there's hope. As long as your show has some form of hope at the end of it, cool. Otherwise, I've wasted my time. It's like you're telling me something I already know. I can already visualize far worse things than your show has shown me. But you haven't given some anecdote to the virus or to the problem or to the illness or sickness. So these days, I'm not saying every show should be this way. I just realized I'm gravitating towards certain shows that have some form of solution or solutions in the show once you present a problem. And not every show is about a problem and solution.